Hi, this is Johnny. I'm a global artist ambassador for FENIX360, and I'm blessed to be joined today by the musical artist Kevin Bloom of the Dead Shakers. What's up, Kevin? How are you?
Hey Johnny, how's it going? Thank you
It's
so much
going
for having me.
it's going real good, man. Better now that we're hooking up. So let me ask this question, Kevin. Is it cool with you if I tune into some of the music that you have up on your YouTube channel and share with our audience um, the Dead Shakers tune Medfield? Is that cool?
Yeah, that sounds great. That's actually a personal favorite.
I love it. All right. All right. Let's tune in now to the Dead Shakers, Kevin Bloom with Medfield.
Not that much is kicking in the floor. Not that much is kicking in the floor.
Kevin, sweet. Great to hear it and great to share with everybody. And I'd love it if you tell me what the inspiration is for the song, but I also am interested in where you're from and your journey in becoming a musical artist. Give me some of those highlights, will you?
It's funny that you asked about this song because when I was a kid, I grew up near a town called Medfield in Massachusetts, and
Mhm.
there is a an abandoned mental hospital. It's actually a pretty historic hospital in terms of tracking how uh, the United States has really uh, processed mental illness for worse and
Right.
getting better over time. But yeah, we would sneak into the buildings and do crazy teenager stuff, and
Sure. Cool.
uh, yeah, so just the strange little ghost stories and happenings of being super young in a place like that leaves you with few choices other than becoming an artist, you know. Just
Well, listen, some of those creative inspirations, and obviously, like, you know what I mean, you'd like to dabble into, discovery. And that's what it might have been like, to be in kind of a spooky, if you will, mental facility. But at any rate, let me ask this question. And you're right also about, you know what I mean, some of the negative aspects of that industry and how they've treated illness. I'm glad that in essence we can share something positive in terms of the future and how mental illness is treated. But let me ask this question now, Kevin. Where are you from? Where did this all start?
um well, when I was a small child, I would sing songs, and I didn't really know that I wanted to be in a band until I got older and was a teenager and had
Uh-huh.
some close friends, and we were in high school and started to play in a band together, and that that's
Got it
where
started,
it
man.
started, and you get
And
started on a path and it becomes your identity, and then it's
And were
it's where
you
you fit
playing
in.
were you playing covers and stuff of bands that
Oh,
you like to listen
definitely,
to? Yeah.
definitely.
I
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
you.
yeah.
And so who are some of those
uh
bands or other artists that really inspired you guys?
well, I think when I at the end of high school, I found out about this band called Broadcast
Huh?
that was really, really important for me, thinking about how a song could live in a listener's head. And there's another band called Animal Collective that I really like.
I love it,
Um,
man. Yeah, I like how the idea of a song living in someone's head, it's almost like a seed. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Yeah, and I think that's really kind of beautiful that you're planting these seeds through your songwriting and performance. And so let me
Thanks.
ask this question, like, and thanks for sharing those artists. What's the band, the aspirations of the band? What are you guys working on now, or what's coming up in the near future?
So we've got our first album, which is called All Circles Vanish, that's out. And I'm currently in my studio where we're working on our next album called
Your
Some
studio.
Shapes Reappear.
Mhm.
Um, it will be out when I'm done with it.
Of
That's
course.
the curse of having a studio is time is different than when you're like going into a studio to cut some
Understood.
tracks. But these songs have been working on for at least 2 years each. The pandemic was a blessing in that way that I got to keep working on them forever. And
To focus and work on the refinements, and yeah.
yeah, and every track is a collection really of a couple hundred layers of tracks that
Hmm.
if a
Understood.
song is uh there's one song on there that's about 2 minutes long, and that's not that much time, but there's 180 guitar parts on it.
Wow. Of
So that took me all day for this 2 minute
course.
song to,
Yeah.
and then you got to go through them and make sure you only keep the good stuff.
And listen,
And
Kevin, do you feel a certain, like, satisfaction, or like, when you get it, where you're just like, oh, yes.
honestly, it's a relief. Like, I'm so glad to let go of this now. Like,
Uh-huh.
this is someone else's thing that I don't have to be the only person on earth to hear.
Oh, I love it, man. That's really cool. And obviously that studio art, you know what I mean, that gives you something back, you know what I mean? That creative process is something that helps you with your own growth. And so I appreciate that part of it too. Now, as far as the band is concerned, you know what I mean, and kind of collaborating with them and their different talents and unique personalities, and
Mhm.
does you know, is your vision to be with the band moving forward, or do you sometimes have like a solo artist kind of idea that eventually I might do my own thing, or how do you envision that in the future?
Well, I was in a band before this that was similarly directed by myself, but it had more of like a, singer in a band feel. And there's kind of impracticalities with that in the world where we can talk through a computer, like
Yep.
it's it's more of the label of a project of songs I've written and made with a group of people. We used to have a really big band.
Hmm.
We would roll up with a horn section and two drummers and a cello player
Wow.
and
Yeah.
two guitars, and we've really slimmed down, still do two drummers because that's what's up. But
Uh-huh.
uh, I feel like I lost the question. I'm
No,
sorry.
it's okay. The question was, is you always going to roll with the band, or do you think sometime you'll be
Right.
the solo guy?
I I've played this project solo and with the band. Really depends on what is going on at the time. I
Uh-huh.
like playing with the band better. It's more fun.
Right. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, it's nice to be with your friends and your mates and doing it together.
Yeah, yeah,
Something to
exactly. Like,
share, Yeah.
would you rather drive 4 hours alone or with your five best friends?
No question. That makes a lot of sense to me. Well, listen, I'm looking forward to it, Kevin, to actually what you guys have coming up. So I want
Thanks,
everyone to
Johnny.
tune into your social media channels that you can find below our interview today. So definitely do that. We'll look for the Dead Shakers and Kevin Bloom, and we're also going to look for them coming up on FENIX360. So Kevin, thanks very much. Really appreciate you being with me.
Thank you for having me, Johnny. Peace and love.
Peace and love. One love, brother. Take care.
Right on.